Thank you, Van Morrison. Thank you, Jen and Jennifer and Ophia and Dee and Ryan and John and Lewis. Thank you. Why in the world people go places where they're made to feel bad is beyond me when you can go someplace and feel great. Come to Center for Spiritual Living Asheville and you will feel great. Yes, Barbara Waterhouse said it. It must be true. So, today I want to talk about the subtle seduction of duality. This is one of my big word days. The subtle seduction of duality. And you know, doesn't it look like there's duality? For us to go into this idea of oneness, we have to completely deny our senses. Because if I stand here and look at you, there's me and you. There's here and there. There's now and then. When I look at my world, I see duality. And when I see the experiences of my life, it sure feels like duality. It feels like things can come into my world and things can go out of my world. It feels like people can do things to me and I can do things to people. It feels like circumstances can work out or circumstances cannot work out. And one of the things that I love about this teaching and dislike about duality is that in the world of duality, I am powerless. And I grew up feeling pretty powerless. For that matter, I spent decades of my life perfecting powerlessness. I would find somebody and I would give all my power to them, and then I would say, now use this in the way that I want you to use it. I don't want to take responsibility for my own power, but I'm going to give it to you, and then if you don't do it the way I want you to do it, I'm going to get really mad at you. How crazy is that? That's the world of duality. The world of oneness is I am the point of expression of all that is. All that is. Not only am I connected with everything, but I am everything. The truth is that in my world, you don't even exist. In my world, I am reflecting myself back to me through you. And in your world, I don't exist. In your world, you are reflecting yourself back to you by means of me. So give yourselves a pat on the back, because you're doing a really good job right now. I love this teaching because it puts so many things that were in question for me to rest. This is my original Science of Mind textbook. Some of the things in the original textbook did not make it into the revised textbook because they were pretty bold. And this is what Ernest says about duality. He says, duality in philosophy. As the belief in duality has robbed theology of its greater message, so has it robbed much of the philosophy of the ages of a greater truth. For in philosophy, the belief in duality has created a confusion that is almost as great as that in theology. It has made a philosophy of good and evil, which men have come to believe. So let me go back a page. Belief in duality and its results. The belief in duality has robbed theology of power and has polluted philosophy with untruths. It has divided science against itself, and it has made countless thousands go through life with saddened hearts. Duality in theology. The belief in duality has given rise in theology to the idea of a God and a devil, each with equal power to impose upon man a blessing or a curse. And men have worshipped a devil just as truly as they ever worshipped God. Even today, this monstrous thought is robbing men of their birthright to happiness and a sense of security. Even today and openly, men still teach that there is an evil power in the universe, that there is damnation to the souls of those who do not fall down and worship do not know what. But time is rapidly coming when such teachings will be thrown on the scrap heap and numbered among the delusions of a frantic mentality. Throw that stuff on the scrap heap. It is delusional to think that there is a God and a devil. It is delusional to think that there is an evil power in the universe. Ernest said that traditional Christianity was insane. That it's insane, this idea of eternal celestial whoopee or eternal punishment and damnation. That's crazy stuff. And then he goes on to say, duality in science. The belief in duality has robbed science in that it has created spirit and matter, i.e., a dual universe. However, modern science is rapidly giving out a different idea of the universe, for with the passing of matter into a hypothetical and theoretical ether, there is but little left on which to hang any belief in materialism. We now are told that all matter is in a constant state of flow, that it all comes from one source, and that it will eventually return to that source. This was 100 years ago. 100 years ago. To say that there is no duality, there is no spirit and matter, there is no good and evil, there is no outside God, there is no the devil made me do it or the devil's going to get me, that is insane. William James, one of the, I think he was the father of American psychology, said that new thought is the religion of healthy mindedness. That we choose not to be crazy here. We choose to be healthy here. And when we make that choice to be healthy, the only thing that we can do is look at this idea of oneness. When we look at the idea of oneness, let's say for material form, we have a particle or a wave. A particle is physical form. A wave is a movement of energy. But the particle and the wave are the exact same thing, expressing themselves as different forms. Not different forms, exact same thing, expressing themselves differently. At one point, we're a wave, we are energy, we are beings of light. And at one point, we're a particle. We're in physical form with stuff that looks like it's separate. It looks like there's a little form here and there's a little form there. And that is the illusion. When we look at the world as a world of two-ness, we get lost. When we can start to wrap our heads around this idea of oneness, and it is a big wrap. It is a big wrap that says, I am you and you are me. In Lakishin Lakim, the Mayan statement for I am another you and you are another myself. That we are all the same being. That we are all points of the same light. That there is only one, and that I am connected with everyone, everywhere, and every when, because I am everyone, everywhere, and every when. Breathe. That's a big ticket. That's a big ticket because it sure looks like things happen outside of my control. It sure looks like there are other people in my life. And yet this idea of oneness, this truth of oneness is that there is only one. And I am it and it is me because there's only one. There's not spirit manifesting itself as lots of different things. That's the illusion. There is only spirit. There is only love. There is only life. There is only light. That is it. And when we allow ourselves to move past this idea of duality, we can see the bigger picture. We can see that we are not bound by the physical rules of science, the physical laws of science. What happened before is the only thing that's going to happen in the future. We can transcend those ideas and we can rise above them. But when we get stuck in duality, we are screwed. Because then I don't have my power. You can hurt me. You can take things away from me. You can give things to me. And I can manipulate and control you and try to have you give that to me. When we move into the world of duality, then we are at effect instead of at cause. And I have spent so much of my life feeling like I was at effect that when I got a hold of this teaching and realized I was cause to my experience no matter what happened, I was cause to my experience, my whole world opened up. I got a sense of maybe I really can have the life that I always knew I wanted to have and that I always believed I should have. Maybe I can create the life of my dreams, and I went for it. I went for it and went for it and went for it, and I ended up manifesting this amazingly wonderful life. And I know a number of you have done the same thing. That when we move into this idea that says, I am in charge of my life, I am the universe, not even the universe is on my side, I am the universe, manifesting as my life. Right now, there are no limits to me. Then I can create whatever I can wrap my head around, whatever I can embrace, whatever I can accept. I can create that in my life, and there is nothing and nobody that can stop me. For me, that's the promise of this teaching. That it gives every man, woman, and child on this planet, and who knows how many other planets and galaxies and solar systems and universes that there are, all with that same ability to manifest. I love that about us. I love that we get to do that. So I'm always on the watch out. Always looking to make sure that I don't give that power away, that I don't look at circumstances that appear to be outside of me and say that this means that I'm okay. This means that I'm safe. This means that I'm loved, because that's the feel-good side of it. Or this means that I'm not safe. This means that I am not loved. This means that I'm not okay. Because you can't have one without the other. You can't do the good without the evil or the right without the wrong. They're all part of the same mix. That's why Buddha said whatever is. Stop judging it good or bad or right or wrong. But whatever is, it just is. And Barbara Waterhouse says it only means what you make it mean. That you put your story on the event and then that becomes real to you. So be careful about what story you're going to lay on the events of your life. And so in looking at this idea of nothing can take anything away from me that is mine by consciousness, and I can't keep anything that is no longer in alignment to my consciousness, I look at my world. And what I see is that nobody has to have my back. Maya Angelou said, have your own back. And I say your back is not in danger. You don't need someone to have your back. You don't need someone to protect you, because there is nothing coming at you. There is no second shoe that's about to fall. There is nothing bad that's about to happen. There is only light and love and joy and health and prosperity and wholeness. That's all that there is. We in Science of Mind do not believe in a savior because we don't believe we're lost. That's on the scrap heap. We don't need someone to save us, because we're not lost. We have all of the power of the entire universe at the point of us, because we are the entire universe. We have everything that we need to live the life of our dreams. We don't need anybody outside of us to come in on their white horse and save us. I don't know about you, but I gave up being a damsel in distress a long time ago. It's not worth it. Because to be a damsel in distress, you got to give up your power. You got to let it go. You got to say, oh, I can't do this. Oh, Superman. Oh, Mighty Mouse. Oh, whoever. Somebody help me. No, nobody is coming to help you, because you don't need help. Nobody is coming to save you because you don't need to be saved. We are powerful, creative, spiritual beings alive and well on planet Earth. We have everything that we need and more. We have all of the wisdom, all of the guidance, all of the power that exists in us, as us, is us now. And so we come into this teaching. And for me, I could feel the synapses in my brain explode, making new connections of things that I had never thought about, but at a soul level I always believed. And I jumped into this teaching, and I took every class that I could and read every book that I could get my hands on. I did affirmations. I did treatments. I talked to myself incessantly about what was possible and what could be, and how I am an amazing person. I am not my mother's daughter. I am not my father's daughter. I am not what that church said I was. I am an amazing individualization of God itself. And I see people come into this teaching and they do that. They just take off a big bite, and you know, their life gets better and better and better. And then for a lot of us, something happens. Because psychologically, we come into this teaching and we have certain unconscious beliefs. Some of them are unlimited and some of them are limited. And when we start challenging those limited beliefs with, I just created a brand new job. I just created 3 times as much money. Gosh darn it, people like me. I feel really good. Life is going great. We have those experiences and we demonstrate a life that gets better and better and better, and boom, we come up to that limited belief. And this is the time that defines us. This is so important. How we take that point in our life is critical. It's not bad that we came up to a limited belief. It was there. We needed to drag it up into the light of day, take a good look at it. Usually we do that by acting it out in our lives so we can look at it and go, everything was going really great, and now things are not going so great. What's up with that? We pull it out into the light of day, not so that we can collapse before it, but so that we can heal it. And if we heal it, we go back into that growth spurt. And we demonstrate more money, and we demonstrate a better body, and we have healings, and we have joy, and we're living the life of our dreams. We're being who we came here to be. We are in our genius. And then we're going to hit another limited belief. And at that moment, rather than falling down, we rise up. The point when we hit our limited beliefs is the time to have a breakthrough, not a breakdown. If we have a breakdown, we're going to be in big trouble. And how do those look? This stuff doesn't really work. You know, if it really worked, I wouldn't have had that problem. I wouldn't have stumbled. I wouldn't have fallen. It's not how many times you fall down, it's how many times you get up. If this stuff really worked, then I wouldn't have to work so hard on it. I wouldn't have to really challenge myself and question myself and go back to doing all those affirmations and journaling and treatment and go see practitioners and take more classes. Oh no, I took those classes. I already know everything that Barbara has to say. If you knew it, you wouldn't hit a limited belief. If you knew it, you would be levitating right now up into the heavens. So we come in and we go rah, 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 limited belief. Rah, 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 limited belief. If we break through them, if we break down, we go rah, 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 limited belief. This doesn't work. This isn't real. And you know, it makes me sad. For some reason, recently, a number of people have chosen to leave our community. And I always watch the way people leave. And when I know that someone has had wonderful results using this teaching, and that they have demonstrated, and then all of a sudden they've hit a bump, a limited belief, and that they give up, they break down, they fall apart, they say this doesn't work. It makes me sad. I choose to get sad because that's a part of me that I'm experiencing on the outside of when I do that. And I want to say, don't do this. I mean, I want to be like Cher and go, snap out of it. I want to say, don't do this. Don't give up just because you stumbled. Don't stop just because something came up. It came up to heal. It came up for you to grow through. It came up for you to expand through. And if you allow yourself to heal it and to grow through it and expand through it, you will get all of the benefits of this teaching. You'll be growing, 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 prospering, healing, joy-filled, happiness. You'll have all of that if you don't get seduced by the subtle seduction of duality. And you know what it sounds like. Hey, sailor. You're looking mighty fine today. You got your new car. You got your new job. You got everything going great. Come on over here. Let's give us some sugar. You know me. I'll take you back to where you know you belong. You belong down there, where things are hard, where there's not enough, where you know how it's going to end. It's going to end the same way that it always has ended, with you losing and suffering. Come on over here. Give us some sugar. And sometimes we do it. Sometimes we do it, and then we wake up the next morning and look at who we're in bed with and go, oh my gosh, how did I get here? And it's subtle, because sometimes it just seems like it's so right. Well, surely there's got to be some right and wrong. There's got to be some good and bad. There's got to be something other than me. I can't be all alone in the universe because I don't feel all alone. You're not all alone. You are one with everything. But there is nothing that can intervene and keep you from creating your life. There is nothing that can intercede on your behalf, either for better or for worse. It's impossible. The only one that can create our experience is us. And when we give up, when we decide that it's too scary to be rich, it's too confrontive to be open and intimate with someone, I just don't know how long this joy can last. When we go there, we have not only robbed ourselves, but because we are one, we have robbed the world. This teaching is not about feeling bad. This teaching is not about looking for something outside of us to fill us up. This teaching is about changing the world, and we change the world by lifting it. That is our only choice. You know, and sooner or later, you're going to grow through that limited belief. Sooner or later, you're going to have a breakthrough instead of a breakdown, so we might as well do it today and stop sleeping with duality. Marianne Williamson had something wonderful to say, so wonderful that Nelson Mandela used it in his inaugural address. And she says, out of Return to Love, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We are born to make manifest the glory of God that is us. It is not just some of us. It is everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. We don't do anybody any favors by going into a world where there is something outside of us, where there is something that we can't do, that we can't have, that we can't be. We don't do anybody any favors by playing small. And sooner or later, we are all going to have to break through and rise up and be the God being that we were always meant to be. We're going to have to be rich. We're going to have to be joy-filled. We're going to have to succeed. We're going to have to be healthy. We have to, because that is who we are, and we cannot deny our nature. We can pretend, we can play small, but we can't do it forever. So I invite you to stand tall as the being that you were always meant to be. God showed up as us, not in a little piece, but all of God showed up as us. And as we allow that being that we are to demonstrate as our lives unencumbered, then we can reach out into thin air and have magic and miracles happen. We can demonstrate all that there is. We can have the situations in our lives show up, not because somebody gave it to us, but because we did that, because that is who we are, and so it is.